Hi and welcome to my PlayHouse. And today I have a package here and it's all the way from the United States. I bought a pair of new processors. It's so light. Processors don't weigh much. And well, this is why the United States economy is going really bad. They write the real stuff on the packages. This package has a value of $249.99. And this means that I have to pay import tax when this arrives in Denmark. And well, if I ordered this in China, I wouldn't have to. So I'd rather get it in China then, because I paid like $80 to get this into the country. $80 that only the Danish government benefits from. I bought a couple of processors, and I did that thanks to the nice people that has donated to my donate button. Forget where it is, but the last person that I haven't mentioned yet who donated is his username is Max Poorman. It's probably because he has donated all his money to me, so but he didn't donate that much. But thank you very much to Max Poorman for donating to my YouTube channel. And those money was sitting in my PayPal account, and I have been looking at processors for quite a while, so I wanted to get some. So I used all the money and some extra. So what I have here is two. Where is it? It's right there. X5680s, and they're 3.33 gigahertz 6-core processors, and they go into the servers over here. Maybe all of them, I'm not sure. There is a rumor that the IBM x3650 Model 2 also is able to do the 5600 series. I'm gonna have a look at that when I take the old processors out. I'm gonna try and put them up in a Model 2. But also I have a network daughter board for a Model 3, an IBM x3650 Model 3, so that I can add 2 extra network ports, and that's quite handy. So I have had this open, wanted to make sure that this was the actual thing in here. And we have pink stuff, and here is the small package with 2 processors. I haven't actually checked if there is anything else in here, but I wouldn't expect so. No secret presents. Here are the processors. For $250, they could have cleaned them up a bit better. I'm installing those, and I'm installing them in a server over here. This server right here is number 15. That's my everyday server. That's my 24/7 server, always on. All the other servers, I really try to turn those off to not use as much power. But this one is always on. And I want to change that out for, actually the one just below it. Because then I can change out the server and move everything, and I can just switch which server is the always on one. And I'm doing this on a particular reason. This one, which is also quite dusty. It only has room for 4 disks here. The backplane and stuff is not installed on this one. So I'm gonna be using this one, which has room for 8 of these bays, and I'm gonna be upgrading it. I want some solid state drives in there. I want this daughter board to go in as well as the new processor, and I want to optimize the memory like I did in the previous video where I balanced the memory. And I don't think, was that? No, that was not, that was 17 I used for that. But I'm gonna do that in that server. I'm gonna balance out the memory and make sure that that runs as fast as possible. Around the back here we have, this is my everyday server, and it has the internet coming in that's the gray cable here. That's internet in, and that is routed inside the server through a virtual router, and it's routed out. Of course, all the machines on the server can use the internet that way, but the internet is then routed out through the other network card. And I'm gonna be installing that daughter board, not on this server, but on this server actually, so that I get an additional 2 network cards. But right now I need to take the network cards out of number 17, otherwise it's not gonna go out of the rack. And I see I need to put in an extra power supply too. I do want 2 power supplies in that, but we'll just steal one from number 15 when we're done with that one. Number 17 should be able to slide out here. See, I need to get something to dry that off with. Take the other heatsink off. Need to clean that as well. Let's just take out the processors. Need to clean those up as well before I can show you what that is. I have cleaned up the heat sinks now, and I'm just gonna take a piece of tissue and clean up the processors, the old ones. And these are the X5650s, and these are 2.66 gigahertz. Oh, this one was never cooled very good. There's missing chunks. So these are going back to, I'm gonna try those in the M2, and we are putting in these 2 new ones instead. Might just clean that up, make sure that it's all good. Get the old heatsink cooling compound off of there, making sure that all the legs are, looks good, and put that in. It seems it goes that way. Yeah. The other one is not as bad. I'm just cleaning it off screen so that I don't take all the heating compound and fill it down into the server. And let's see, that goes the other way around. That. Close that down. And we need some cooling compound again. Make sure that the processors are cool. And I'm gonna put on the heat sinks again. That's about it for the processors. Okay, now I wanna put in this daughter board. And well, it comes with a couple of tabs down here on the motherboard that you're supposed to put in. I didn't get those, so it's gonna be a little bit dodgy. But first I need to remove this little plate here from the back of the server. Tiny little thing that goes on there, and it's a bit dusty down there, so, and that just goes in like that somehow. It has to connect with this white connection. That's easier said than done. Oh, got it. Press to insert. Press to install. But I'm missing those 2 thingies. That's kind of a shame, but well, I need some RAM. I'll just take out this RAM and put in the new RAM. Put the RAM in this bag. And I'll be installing this memory that I have shown in a previous video where I did some RAM testing, and I'm gonna be following the manual on the LED of the server. It tells me right here which order the memory blocks has to go in to get the best performance. I have to fill up the 3 banks. The server has 3 banks, and I have to put in 2 memory blocks in each of the 2 banks to get the best performance. 3, 6, 9. I put the memory in the bank for the first processor, and I'm going to be putting in the banks for the second processor, and I have to put them in number 12 there, number 15 right there, and number 18, which is right here. That means that each of the 3 memory banks now have 1 memory block. Then we install 1 more in each of the banks, and that has to go into number 11, 14 and 17. It's all on the LED. That's about it for stuff that goes inside the server, so I'm putting the plastic pieces back, just cleaning them up a little bit before I do that. Okay, I've been around the back and I've put cables into number 17 here, which is going to be the new 24 server. I'm going to power it on. I have to move a lot of things forth and back first. There is some virtual machines on this server that I want to move out of there. Then I want to put in some solid state drives. These are regular hard drives, 500 gigabyte drives, I can see. I'm going to be taking those out and putting in some solid state drives instead. Here I have 4 original IBM System X64 gigabyte SSDs that I'm going to be putting in as well, the main drive, and I have some 256 gigabyte drives that I'm also going to be putting in as another drive, and well, I might dig up some more. Oh, I totally forgot to be impressed that it actually booted and those 2 processors from the United States actually worked. I forgot to mention that. I hope it comes up and brags about how fantastic it is in just a little bit. And there should be 96 gigabytes of memory as well. Okay, it sees the 2 processors. That's awesome. It sees the RAM. That's also awesome. And I see that I need to upgrade this VMware host because it's running 5.0.0. That's less awesome. I have moved into the computer and I'm just looking at the new server here. I have ESXi 5.00 installed on this, and sometimes people ask me what I am looking at here, and this is the WebSphere client, and I'm using it with vCenter, and that's why I can see more than 1 server. The server is showing up, it has 12 CPUs now, and they're running 3.333 gigahertz. That's awesome. And it's the X5680 and 98 gigabytes of RAM. It's 96 gigabytes of RAM, but it's funny enough, it sees a little bit extra. I don't know why VMware does that, but it does. If we check out the memory, we can see that the system itself, VMware, is consuming 383 megabytes. If we go to the old server, or the one that is running now that I am replacing, we can see that it's about the same. This has a bit more memory, probably around 124 gigabytes of memory, but the system is using about the same, 385 megabytes. It shows up that it has a lot of inaccessible servers. Probably I have moved those away, so I'll just remove those, remove from inventory. That's gonna take a little bit. Can I maybe do more than one? There's a little trick. When you are out here, you cannot mark more than one server at a time. But if you go to the host up here and into virtual machine, you can actually mark a lot of servers, and you can right click, and there is some common things you can do, like remove from inventory. Sure, yes. And it removes all of them. Except the ones that was down here, which was hidden away, so we'll do those by itself. Yes, that was a lot quicker. Now you can see I've been playing with OS X on this system. We can just go back to the summary. The server is complaining that the ESXi shell for this host has been enabled, and I needed that to play with that. Could just try and power one of these on just to see that. That one didn't work. Let's try the other one, see if that's functional. No. Apparently those are out of order by now, so I'm not gonna bother moving those, am I? No. I'll just delete those two OS X. I'll need to play with that again sometime. So we'll just go in here, mark those two, and those two we will delete from disk. That's hard. Delete from disk. Yes. That takes a bit longer. It completed that. It took a long time at the start, but then it moved faster. So I want these moved away from there. Let's see, I have some inactive servers. 39 I do not have. I have number 40 and number 41. So I'll delete those two and I'll keep number 39 just to. These are just my render hosts. I can copy these in 20 minutes, but I'm lazy, so I usually just move them around. But those two I have, so delete from disk. Yes. That was quicker. It's almost done. And this one will just move out of there. Migrate. Just check what storage that is on actually. I'm just gonna go down there and check that. It's on data store 1. That means that it's local storage, and I want to move it. Let's move it over. Where is this? This is on LAN number 1. So let's move number 39 out just besides the other one. Migrate, host and data store, thank you. And that's internal. And I'm gonna move it over to this server first. So that I can continue upgrading the server. We're gonna put it in there. And we're gonna put it on LAN number 1. Not much free space on that anymore. Finish. And it's gonna be moved. It didn't do that very well, did it? This operation is not supported on this object. But why? Let's try and move data store first then. Change data store. I'm not sure that this server, let's see what storage it sees. It doesn't have iSCSI, so I need to configure iSCSI before I can move it. Okay, we will add some iSCSI. iSCSI is there. Okay, so we will, and it has iSCSI here. So there must be some of the settings that is wrong. Okay, I changed a little bit of settings, the encryption password thingy. So now it sees LAN 1. So now I should be able to copy the machine from here to my iSCSI storage. So let's migrate it, and both, and there, and next, and inactive servers, and we're gonna put it on the right storage, which is that one, and select next, and hopefully it's good now. Yeah, it's copying down there, so that should be good. Now the computer is copying that virtual machine over to the other computer, and when it's done doing that, I can down this server and change out disks and stuff. I want to firmware update it, but I want to keep that to the next video. So I'm gonna end the video here for editing purposes to keep it kind of short. So do like the video down here. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again, and have a really nice day. Bye bye.